So yeah, it's time to hock you over onto the main feature. This is Project vs Mazur show match, game 1. So I'm going to put you on fastest because obviously that is the speed at which everyone likes to watch their replays these days. You kids. I'm also going to turn the system sound up because frankly that is pretty much rock bottom. Alright, that's looking better. Okay, sweet. So, at the bottom of the map, spawning in as the blue Protoss, we have Mazur. Round of applause for Mazur. And in the top right-hand corner, spawning in as the green Terran, we have Project. Now, I'm sure you know these players already. I'm sure they don't need too much of an introduction. Project, of course, one of our favourite streamers on Team Liquid. So I'm sure everybody has seen his first-person view at some point, and everyone enjoys to see that of an evening. And if we scoot over down to the bottom of that, we can have a quick look at Mazur, who also is a very, very good player. Hit A- this season on the ladder, I believe. So he's a force to be reckoned with for anybody, even the magnificent Project. So Mazur not doing anything weird as of yet, keeping everything in the main, laying down a pylon on, I believe that would have been on 8, because obviously on 9 would make no sense at all. You don't get A- with that kind of messing around. So laying down the pylon on the standard supply, and Project doing something very similar. I might actually change the colour because he's not really green, he's more teal. Project doing some very similar kind of stuff, and just going for the normal things. Making the supply depot inside his base, so that's all very normal. I'm just going to switch the colours over right now. He's more teal, isn't he? What do you reckon? Teal? Yes, that's good. Okay, sweet. So we see the supply depot being laid down, and instantly the SCV heads on out to lay the barracks down at the natural expansion of the Terran. So this is probably going to be some kind of fast expand. And Mazur is going to head on straight over and scout that first of all. I'm saving my voice a little bit today as well, by the way, because I'm actually slightly ill at the moment, which is kind of miserable for me. But no matter, it shouldn't affect the casting too badly. But if I'm not all go, as I usually am, then that could be just a little bit of why. Probe trying to do some nice harass on the SCV, but Project seems wise to it. He's going to have to pull that SCV back in order to keep it safe, and pulls a couple more out. Pulls actually 3 more out. That's a little bit surprising, in order to make sure that barracks goes down. Well, yeah, barracks happens. I have a housemate right now asking me a question. There is no camera today. Oh yes, for anyone who's wondering, there is no webcam today because of this whole crazy new setup I'm having to use right now. So, sorry, nobody can see me. Apart from my housemate. So Mazur producing up a zealot first of all, in order to go and try some harassment. And it looks like, oh, what was that? Did I just? Yes, it does look like Mazur actually manages to get 1 SCV kill, so that's some pretty major stuff against Project. I mean, it doesn't really make any huge difference to the game itself, but obviously in terms of morale, and just in terms of killing Project's SCV on stream, then it makes him look pretty damn cool in every aspect. So this first zealot's going to head on out, and he's going to be able to do some good harass. The thing about this is the Marine can of course run backwards and forwards in between here, whereas the Zealot can't, so that's a little bit of an advantage of that particular building placement. But the Zealot might be able to do a little bit of a run by, which could be quite nice, and it looks like Mazur is expecting just this kind of thing, because he has that SCV still in Mazur's base. Project is expecting this, I'm sorry. And it looks like it won't be able to do too much damage. 2 Marines are now out. They're going to be able to see these guys off without too much trouble, but it looks like we may catch an SCV here. Of course, SCVs taking 4 hits to kill, and they do not replenish any of their health at all. And taking a couple more hits onto this SCV as well, but it looks like he will be able to escape without taking any losses. Throwing down a bunker now as well to make sure he's entirely safe. The Dragoon range tech is about 1/3 of the way done, so it'll be a little while before he can effectively harass that bunker. And that's going to be up in just a second. But it looks like we have, I believe, what's this called? I believe this is called the Noni Gate, where you lay down a bunch of extra gates outside the natural of the Terran and pile on the pressure with 3-gate goon. Of course, we may see something like that thing which I told Sale, which I'm ridiculously proud of. Yes, yes. Oh my God, this is actually that build which I kind of came up with. I don't know if I actually came up with it or if I stole it from somewhere, but this is the build where you lay down a robo out here and then you produce a Reaver, and the Reaver then walks to the bunker and starts trashing the bunker down. You don't even need the shuttle because, of course, Reavers range bunkers by like a mile at least. So that's going to be pretty cool, and we'll see if this works out. And if it does work out, then everybody take note that this is an awesome, awesome build, and go and try it on cheeky, fast expanding Terrans, the likes of Project. Because, of course, fast expanding Terrans can be an absolute bitch, because it's kind of hard to know how to take it into the mid game, because if you just throw up an expansion for yourself, you're pretty much accepting a deficit right away. And then there's all sorts of stuff you've got to try in order to get yourself back into the game. Just hammering away now at this bunker. So definitely we're not going to be able to see any more SCV scouting rather come out. So Project's actually going to be completely in the dark. And where is your factory? Where is your factory? Project really needs a factory up ASAP. Otherwise, he is going to have so much trouble defending against the Reaver. And where's the Robo? There's the robotic support base. So the Reaver is on its way out now, even before we see the first factory begin for Project. So this could be really, really horrible for him, because this Reaver is going to come out, and of course he's going to have literally nothing which can equal it for range. He's going to have nothing but a few Marines. So we'll see how he deals with this. Oh no, excuse me, there is a factory down here. Phew! I was completely confused for a second there, but it looks like Project has got this covered, as you would expect, because of course the guy is a complete monster. So he is probably going to be okay against this, especially given that he has siege mode on the way. But this Reaver, it's all about the timing, because you see that tank is nearly done, but siege mode is still a short way off. So there is a very, very small little timing window whereby this Reaver can be super effective. And we also see a Nexus being laid down now as well. I thought I saw another gateway going down, but it seems I didn't. So the Nexus does go down. So at this stage, Mazur deciding to beef up his economy just a little bit, as there will be no point in him producing any more gateways or anything like that. And siege mode is very almost done, and that is going to finish just about the same time as this Reaver arrives, so the damage has to be done now. The Reaver walking so painfully slowly towards the bunker, and it gets one massive hit, and the bunker goes down. So Mazur has to push in absolutely right now, because that tank is now sieged up, and he should be able to take that down. SCVs all coming off the line, and that tank is going to fall, and this is going to do so much damage to all those SCVs that are going to be completely useless in terms of blocking. And we see Project's well-built economy just completely getting destroyed already. That Reaver should really be preserved, though. He fails to pull the Reaver back, and as such loses it. But that Zealot's now going to be all over this tank. Not that it's going to do too much, because there are SCVs out here as well, and SCVs are really, really good. Oh, but the tank unsieges, so these Dragoons are going to be able to make it up the ramp, and it looks like that tank is going to go down as well. It does, in fact, go down. So these Dragoons now just going to be able to wreak havoc on the natural of Project, and I don't see any real way back into it for him. Of course, this has got Mazur more than level. Mazur with his expansion going up now as well. Project losing so many SCVs, although his saturation is still okay. The siege tank sieging up on top of the cliff. It looks like Mazur is going to try and take that on. I really think he should pull these Dragoons back. He chooses them to pull them into the mineral line instead, where they can of course be taken down by the SCVs, but how much damage can he do until then? That is of course the question at this stage. Is he producing another Reaver? Yes, he is producing 2 more Reavers, having produced a shuttle as well. If only he'd have kept that Reaver alive before, then he would be in such a strong position right now to take this game and to clean Project up right here. But we will see another Reaver popping out momentarily. There we go. There we do see another Reaver, and a Dragoon being loaded in there as well. So how much damage can he do with this? Surely he's going to be able to drop it right on top of that tank there. Project still not with any missile turrets either, so he is so undefended, and it looks like this tank is going to be very, very short-lived. One Reaver Scarab doing the trick, and it looks like this one's going to go down as well, taking with it a few SCVs most likely, and all he needs to do is drop that Reaver down, hit that tank, and it's going to be, oh, massive Scarab, taking out so many SCVs as well as the tank. So right now Project is on life support, just producing tanks. Oh, another massive Scarab going off all over the SCVs, and Project is probably going to be forced out of the game relatively soon, but I'm too hesitant to count him out just yet, because of course very, very skilled player. But look at this, actually his SCV saturation isn't actually too bad. Imagine, this is exactly the point I was making, imagine the position Terran would be in right now had he not had all this damage. I know that's kind of hard to imagine, but imagine the strength of a fast expanding Terran. You see what SCV saturation he's been able to achieve even with all this horrible harass, so you can imagine just how strong the FE Terran style is when there is no such harassment. And I hope that Reaver doesn't explode. No, it looks like he might actually get a big Scarab off, landing a Scarab on the tank, and he may get a second one as well. Oh, it looks like he will, and that tank's going to go down, taking with it a couple of extra SCVs, and oh my god, the second tank is still out of range. Will this Scarab hit? It looks like it. No, not quite hitting, but oh, and the Reaver goes down as well. That is a little bit unfortunate, but another one being produced, I think. So that will probably be the one which seals the deal for Mazur, and look at the position he is in right now. Project being forced to land the second CC right back into his main base. Not an enviable position for any Terran, and his SCV saturation is now firmly sat on rock bottom. Another Reaver floating away into the base. I think he would do well to grab another Dragoon into there. He has a third base going up now as well, with 3 gateways pumping Dragoons. Probe saturation not looking too good. I guess he's had to cut quite heavily in order to make the strategy work. Oh, and he looks like he lost a lot of health off his Reaver right then. He should bring these Dragoons right up the ramp. Two siege tanks still to defend. Oh, lovely bit of micro by Project, managing to tell the siege tanks not to attack until the Reaver was dropped down. Really, really nice little bit of micro, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save him here, because these 3 Dragoons are going to be able to make mincemeat of the remaining tanks all too easily. 2 of those tanks go down. He should be producing up another one any second now, but that one only about halfway done. I mean, of course, Mazur's spent one hell of a lot on Reavers, but all he needs to do now is keep shuttling them in, and he's going to be able to take out the last of these SCVs, no problem. And this SCV, the Reaver does land. And where has he got a Wraith from? I guess he found the time to produce a Wraith. Nice little bit of decision making there from Project under pressure. But all the SCVs are going down. Almost none of them mining right now. He has but 1 siege tank to defend against the full might of Aya. Mazur now beginning to produce up probes again, with his third base running as well, so he'll be able to produce probes at a super high rate. 1 extra gateway just to keep things extra nice and safe there. And these Dragoons come back in for yet another bite at the apple. And this tank is not going to last very long, but another siege tank coming in. Project is astoundingly resilient against this kind of stuff. I mean, it's amazing how long it even lasted, but GG! There it is, Project tapping out of the first game.